Hi, I'm Sayersha. Everyone struggles with the pronunciation until I tell them it's Sayersha. I've been married to James for 8 years, and honestly, I thought I had hit the jackpot with my charming investment advisor husband. That was until last Tuesday, when everything started unraveling. Hey, these quarterly reports look odd. I was going through client files at James's firm, where I work part-time as a bookkeeper. The withdrawal patterns on these accounts don't make sense. What are you looking at, dear? Martha, our office manager, peered over my shoulder. She's been here longer than anyone. Probably knows more secrets than the filing cabinets. These 3 clients, all widows, all with similar investment patterns, large withdrawals within months of their husbands' deaths. Martha adjusted her glasses. You know, now that you mention it, we've had quite a few widow clients lately, more than usual. Have you noticed anything strange about their meetings with James? Well, she lowered her voice. They always start desperate and end up calmer. Too calm, if you ask me. The door chimed. A woman in black walked in, eyes red from crying. I'm Sarah Henderson. I have an appointment with James Anderson. My stomach dropped. Another widow. I'm so sorry for your loss. I heard James's smooth voice as he emerged from his office. That voice that could sell ice to Eskimos. Please, come in. We'll take good care of you. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. How was your meeting with Mrs. Henderson? The usual. Poor woman's barely keeping it together, but I'll make sure her investments are solid. Like Mrs. Parker? And Mrs. Thompson? You remember my clients' names? Hard to forget when they all follow the same pattern. He turned to me, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. What pattern? Nothing. Just noticed they're all widows. Natural demographic in this business, honey. People need help most after losing a spouse. I nodded, but my mind was racing. Mrs. Parker, dead husband, car accident. Mrs. Thompson, dead husband, hiking accident. Both accidents happened 3 months after becoming James's clients. The next morning, Martha slipped me a note. Meet me for coffee, alone. At the cafe, she slid a folder across the table. I've been keeping track. Something's not right with these cases. The timing, the accidents. It's too neat. What should we do? Be careful. Very careful. And Sayersha? Her hands shook slightly. Don't let James know you're looking into this. I've seen how he handles problems. I clutched my coffee cup, ice running through my veins. My perfect marriage suddenly felt like quicksand, and I was sinking fast. After my talk with Martha, I knew I needed professional help. That's how I met Diego Rodriguez, a private investigator recommended by my college friend. These patterns you've noticed, they're not coincidental. Diego spread photographs across his desk. Look at the timing of these accidents. All within 3 months of your husband taking them on as clients. But that's not enough proof. No, but this might help. He pulled out his phone. Detective Torres is handling several suspicious death cases. She'd like to meet. An hour later, at a quiet diner, Detective Rachel Torres slid into our booth. Your husband's name keeps popping up in my investigations. Too many coincidences. Here's what we know. She pushed a file towards me. 6 widows in 3 years. All wealthy, all clients of James Anderson. All their husbands died in accidents. But how does he... That's what we need to find out, and we need someone on the inside. My hands trembled. You want me to spy on my husband? We've got an FBI agent who can help. Karen Walsh specializes in financial crimes. The next day, I met Agent Walsh in a bookstore. We've tracked suspicious transfers to offshore accounts. Money moving right after each death. But we need concrete evidence. What do you need me to do? Wear a wire. Plant some surveillance equipment. We'll teach you everything. For 2 weeks, I learned how to operate hidden cameras and recording devices. Then came the close call. I was placing a tiny camera in James's office when his voice echoed down the hall. Sayersha, you still here? My heart nearly stopped. The camera slipped from my sweating hands, rolling under his desk. Just finishing up some filing, honey. I heard his footsteps getting closer. The camera was still visible under the desk. Actually, could you help me with something in the conference room? Give me a minute. I grabbed a pen from his desk, pretending to drop it. As I bent down to retrieve it, I kicked the camera under the filing cabinet. What are you doing? Dropped my favorite pen? I held it up, forcing a smile. You know how clumsy I am. He looked around the office, eyes scanning every surface. Everything okay? You've been acting strange lately. Just stressed about the quarterly reports? You know you can tell me anything, right? I kissed his cheek, feeling sick to my stomach. Of course, honey. I'm just tired. After he left, Agent Walsh texted, "Camera feed clear. Good save." That night, I couldn't sleep, watching James breathing peacefully beside me. The man I married, the man I thought I knew, might be a calculating killer. And now I was gathering evidence against him. My phone buzzed softly. A message from Diego. New lead. Offshore account in Cayman Islands. Meeting tomorrow, 8 a.m. I deleted the message, knowing tomorrow would bring us one step closer to the truth, or one step closer to becoming his next victim. The wire felt cold against my skin as Agent Walsh adjusted it. Remember, we need him to talk about investment strategies with Mrs. Henderson. What if he catches on? Keep your breathing steady. Mrs. Henderson, Sarah, knows her part. I walked into the office, heart pounding. James was already with Sarah in his office. Oh, honey, perfect timing. Mrs. Henderson was just asking about our success rates. Would you mind if I sit in? I'm learning more about client relations. Of course, sweetheart. His smile didn't waver, but something flickered in his eyes. Mr. Anderson, about my late husband's life insurance. Sarah dabbed her eyes convincingly. I'm just so overwhelmed. Trust me, I have a special investment strategy for cases like yours. Very exclusive. The wire itched as I shifted in my chair. Like the strategy you used for Mrs. Thompson? His head snapped toward me. Similar, though each case is unique. Speaking of unique cases, Martha interrupted, opening the door. The files you requested, James? What files? His voice had an edge I'd never heard before. The historical client records? For the audit? There's no audit scheduled. Martha clutched the files tighter. My mistake. Must have mixed up the dates. Later, in the break room, Martha whispered, He's getting suspicious. But I found something in the old records. Payment patterns, identical to what happened before each accident. My phone buzzed. Agent Walsh. Got enough on tape. Meeting tonight. But James caught me heading out. Where are you going? Book club. Since when do you read mysteries? Trying something new? Like wearing wires to client meetings? My blood froze. He stepped closer, voice dangerously soft. You left your phone unlocked this morning. Saw some interesting texts from a certain FBI agent? I backed away. You're imagining things. Am I? Like I imagined you dropping that pen under my desk? Or Martha suddenly needing old client files? James, Shut up. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me? Step away from her. Martha stood in the doorway, holding her phone. I'm live streaming to Agent Walsh right now. You too, old woman? After all these years? I've watched you destroy too many lives. Not anymore. I slipped past him, hands shaking as I dialed Agent Walsh. It's done. We got his confession on tape when he confronted me, plus Martha's live stream. Stay at a safe house tonight. Tomorrow we move in. I looked back at the office building, where James was still arguing with Martha. My husband, the predator, finally caught in his own trap. Diego pulled up in an unmarked car. Ready to disappear for the night? I nodded, knowing tomorrow would change everything. The trap was set, and James had walked right into it. The morning of the sting operation, Agent Walsh gathered us at FBI headquarters. James is meeting with 3 potential clients today, all undercover agents. Saoirse, you'll be monitoring from the surveillance van. Through the cameras, I watched James welcome his clients. His charm was on full display, not knowing every word was being recorded. Ladies, my investment strategy has helped dozens of recent widows. Just ask my wife. Oh wait, she's not here today. Now. Agent Walsh gave the signal. Agents swarmed the office. James tried running but slammed right into Detective Torres. Going somewhere? We've got some questions about your former clients' husbands. This is ridiculous. Saoirse, tell them. He stopped when I stepped out of the van. You set me up? No, you set yourself up. Every murder, every stolen dollar. You can't prove anything. Actually, Martha walked up with a stack of files. Your backup drive wasn't as secure as you thought. During the trial, victims filled the courtroom. Mrs. Parker stood to testify. He suggested my husband try rock climbing, said it would help with grief. 2 weeks later, my George's harness accidentally failed. Your Honor, James's lawyer interrupted. My client is willing to return all funds in exchange for... Not interested in deals. Detective Torres stepped forward. We found evidence linking him to 8 deaths. The judge's gavel came down hard. Multiple life sentences, no possibility of parole. As they led James away, he called out, You'll regret this, Saoirse. I made you who you are. No, you showed me who I never want to be. Outside the courthouse, Agent Walsh handed me a thick envelope. The seized assets will be returned to the victims, but there's something else you should consider. We've identified more potential victims across the country, Detective Torres added. People like James are everywhere. That's why I'm starting a foundation. I looked at Martha, who nodded encouragingly. To protect seniors from financial predators. Will you help? Count me in. Diego joined us. My surveillance skills could be useful. 6 months later, our foundation office opened. Sarah, the real Sarah Henderson, cut the ribbon. Thanks to this team, I'm alive. My husband's killer is in prison. Now we help others spot the warning signs. The phone rang. Another case, another potential predator targeting the elderly. But this time we were ready. James taught me to recognize the patterns, and now I use that knowledge to stop others like him. Ready for another case? Martha handed me a file, now my partner in the foundation. Let's get to work. I looked at the wall of saved lives, photos of elderly people we'd helped protect. No more perfect crimes, no more grieving widows. The foundation grew, spreading to other cities. Every case we cracked, every predator we caught, was another victory against people like James. He thought he destroyed me, but instead, he gave me a mission. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just bringing down your enemy. It's using what you learned to protect others from the same fate. What would you do if you discovered your spouse was secretly targeting vulnerable people? Would you gather evidence quietly like Saoirse did, or confront them immediately? Share your thoughts in the comments. The hardest part of exposing someone close to you is the internal conflict between collecting proof and the guilt of betraying them. What do you think is the right balance between getting justice and protecting yourself? If you enjoyed this story of justice and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more compelling stories that spark important conversations. Thanks for watching. Let's discuss this in the comments below.